Have you ever looked at your tiny garden or backyard and felt stuck? Like it's too small to be beautiful? What if I told you that trash, broken pieces, and leftover cement could turn that small space into something breathtaking? Not with expensive tools or complex plans, but with simple ideas anyone can do. Welcome to Archon Aesthetic Studio, where we turn everyday waste into garden wonder. In this video, you'll discover stunning, low-cost cement border designs made from recycled materials, perfect for small spaces. Check the timestamps to jump to the ideas you need most. If you have a question, drop it in the comments. I read every one. And if something here inspires you, don't just watch, create it your way. You may just see another video, but behind every frame is a real story, a real family, and a real dream. Every time you subscribe, you're not just helping a channel. You're helping something fragile hold on a little longer. You're giving purpose a reason to keep going. So thank you for being here, for not just scrolling past, for choosing to see what this really is. One, cement and trash fusion edging. Sometimes, beauty is not bought, it's found in the broken. Look closely at this garden path. It isn't made from marble or polished stone. It's built from memories, shattered porcelain plates, maybe once part of a family dinner or a teacup gifted long ago. Now, reborn into something magical. This is what we call cement and trash fusion. But there's nothing trashy about it. Cement becomes the canvas, and discarded glass, broken mugs, soda cans, they become the art. In the first garden, delicate ceramic pieces are laid into fresh cement like a quiet mosaic, forming a walkway that glistens under the morning sun. Each step tells a story of reuse, of imagination, of turning something lost into something that leads forward. Next, we move to the raised vegetable beds, and here, soda cans and tiles take the spotlight. This might surprise you, but aluminum, when sealed into cement, becomes both structural and striking. The silver, red, and green cans reflect the life growing just above them. Crunchy lettuce, thick kale, and bright red tomatoes. It's more than just sustainable. It's playful, it's alive, and it's possible. And then, there's the round raised beds, encircled by hundreds of shards of colored glass. Not one piece the same, yet together, they form harmony. Marigolds, daisies, and lavender rise like a song from these sculpted borders, their colors echoed in the glass around them. If you want to try this at home, here's a quiet tip. When casting your cement, press the pieces gently before it sets fully. Use a simple wooden mold. No need for perfection. Let the irregular shapes speak. Seal the surface after drying to protect it from weather and to keep the colors bold. Let your garden be a gallery. Let your waste be your palette. And let your tiny space become a place where broken things grow beauty again. Two, Mold cement garden border designs. In small corners, beauty speaks loudest. This project didn't start with perfection. It started with hands, with patience, and with the quiet idea that even a tight space can carry deep character if we dare to mold it. In the first garden, hexagonal cement tiles rise in warm tones: clay, soft gray, faded green. They frame blooming geraniums and lobelia like puzzle pieces, each snug against the other. It's not just design, it's rhythm. This is geometric harmony, a modern nod in a humble backyard corner. And the best part? These tiles were hand-molded, not bought. You can use silicone molds, or create your own using cardboard and tape. Mix your cement thick, pour with care, and let them cure under natural light. Just a few hours of effort, but it brings years of beauty. Then, we move to a garden where the edges speak like ancient stones. Soft curves, cracks like the earth itself. Mold to resemble natural rock, these borders are planted with rosemary, lavender, thyme, herbs that don't just look good, but smell like summer. Between the crevices, moss begins to grow, invited by shade and time. These borders breathe. They age gracefully. To achieve this look, try crumpling foil and pressing it into soft cement, or carve lines after a slight set. Let imperfections remain. They are what make it feel real. And finally, we come to a leaf-shaped edging. Bold, carved veins stretch across smooth cement panels. Monstera and palm leaf motifs that echo nature while containing it. They wrap around beds of pink petunias and yellow pansies, as if nature were hugging itself. These are not just decorations. They're stories etched in stone. To recreate this, use pressed leaves or rubber stamps while the cement is still moist. Or hand carve with a blunt tool. No need to paint them. Sunlight and shadow will do the rest. Let these gardens remind us, a small space doesn't limit your creativity. It invites it. What you shape with your hands today will frame what grows tomorrow. Three, cement planter edging for tiny gardens. In a small garden, space is precious. Every inch counts. But what if your border could grow life instead of just holding it in? That's the quiet genius behind planter-style cement edging. Simple in shape, calm in color, and alive with possibility. These pieces do more than define a space. They nurture it. Here, each section is a container. Inside, bursts of nasturtiums in orange and yellow, their round leaves trailing gently over the edges. The cement is speckled, clean, and modern, yet never sterile. It holds warmth in the way it cradles life. Not far from it, strawberries cling to the edge of a raised cement bed, ripe, red, and full of sweetness. Their green leaves catch the light, the fruit hanging just above the path, an invitation to pick, to pause, to appreciate. The contrast between rough cement and soft harvest is striking and beautiful. And then we see the succulents. Echeveria, aloe, sedum, thick with texture and color. From silvery sage to dusty plum. They sit like sculptures, perfectly placed in modular cement forms that flow along the edge of a patio. Each square, each cavity, a small stage for life to perform. The planters themselves are easy to make. Use sturdy molds, square, round, or anything you find, and pour your cement thick. Keep the finish unpainted if you want that soft, natural gray. It blends with any garden and lets the plants speak first. The secret to this idea is not complexity. It's consistency. Keep the spacing tight, the layout clean, and the soil rich. Let the plants spill a little. Let them soften the lines. Let nature and design lean on each other. Because in small gardens, we don't have the luxury of waste. But we have something better, purpose. And when purpose is shaped by hand, poured into cement, and filled with things that grow, it becomes more than a border. It becomes a celebration of what's possible in the smallest places. Four, painted cement edging for colorful borders. Not every garden needs to be grand, but every garden deserves to be joyful. Here, color isn't just decoration, it's a feeling, a quiet celebration of creativity, a reminder that even concrete, when touched by a brush, can spark emotion. This painted cement edging brings life to the edges. Blocks brushed with turquoise, sunflower yellow, coral red, and soft lavender. Each piece, hand-painted and imperfect, becomes part of a playful border that holds more than soil. It holds spirit. In one garden, pastel curves frame a bed of green peppers and bright tomatoes. The colors are gentle, mint green and lilac bending around fresh harvests. The tones are soft enough to blend, bold enough to lift the space. It's subtle joy, built from nothing more than cement, time, and trust in the process. Elsewhere, a row of blocks surrounds a patch of daisies and cosmos. The paint is vivid, primary tones that pop against the earth. Some parts are chipped, some edges uneven, and yet, it works. It works because it's real. And in a small square bed, every color is invited. Orange, purple, pink, blue. A mix that shouldn't work, but in the world of flowers, it always does. The zinnias, pansies, and violas don't ask for permission to bloom beside one another. They just do. So why not let your borders do the same? If you want to try this, there's no rule book. Just start. Paint your cement blocks before setting them in place. Use outdoor acrylics for durability, and seal them if your climate asks for it. Don't stress about symmetry. Let your hands decide the palette. Sometimes, what your garden needs isn't more space. It's more soul. And soul can come in the form of color, brushed across cement by someone who believes in beauty, even in small places. Five, minimalist cement edging for small yards. There's something deeply peaceful about a space that knows when to stop. No clutter, no noise, just clean edges, gentle light, and the quiet confidence of simplicity done right. This is where minimalist cement edging finds its place, in the in-between, where order meets nature. Here, every line is deliberate, every border exact, but never cold. In one garden, a square of perfect grass is framed by soft gray cement. Around it, white hydrangeas and low ornamental grasses whisper in the breeze, restrained yet lush. The edges aren't screaming for attention. They're holding space, giving form to softness. That is the beauty of restraint. Elsewhere, a path of crushed gravel runs through tall green hedges, boxed in by low, pale cement. You might think it looks simple, but the simplicity is the work. Clean cuts, measured depth, level surfaces, these details matter. They are what allow the plants and textures to take center stage. And then, in a quiet courtyard, geometry becomes poetry. From above, we see pebbled ground framed by elegant, square cement borders. Just a few grasses, a single tree. Every line matters. Every plant is given air to breathe. It's not about filling space. It's about honoring it. If you want to bring this style into your garden, start with intention. Choose light-colored cement to reflect more light in small areas. Cast the borders low to the ground. Let the plants rise, not the walls. And keep your layout grounded in symmetry, but leave just enough room for something unexpected to grow. Minimalism isn't emptiness. It's presence. And in a world full of noise, this kind of design becomes a quiet sanctuary, one edge at a time. Six, upcycled cement bricks with mosaic touch. Sometimes, the most beautiful things are born from what's been broken. What once was a chipped teacup, a shattered plate, a forgotten brick, now sings in the sun, reborn at the edge of a tiny garden. This is the magic of mosaic. This is the art of giving pieces a second life. Each cement brick here tells a different story. A spiral of porcelain from grandma's china. A flash of blue glass from a bottle once shared between friends. The rough, imperfect edges come together in harmony, like a puzzle that never needed to be finished to be perfect. Around a bed of tulips and daffodils, these mosaic bricks form a circle that feels whole, not because it's flawless, but because it holds meaning. In another corner, a row of herbs grows strong beside bricks studded with sea green tiles. Basil, mint, lettuce, bursting with life, framed by what others might have thrown away. And then, the playful glint of mirror shards, catching the light like little stars fallen to earth, reflecting bits of sky, of bloom, of you. You don't need a big budget. You don't need a large yard. All you need is a few old bricks, a little adhesive, and some broken treasures you thought had no use. Arrange them with feeling, not rules. Let colors clash. Let memories guide you. Because this kind of garden edging isn't just DIY. It's deeply yours. It's a mosaic of moments, scattered, gathered, and placed with love. Seven, raised cement edges for vegetable beds. In the quiet hum of a small backyard, where space is limited but dreams still grow, lies a secret waiting to be uncovered: the beauty of raised cement garden beds. Here, structure meets soul. These cement edges aren't just borders. They are the quiet guardians of your harvest. Built from reclaimed blocks or leftover cement, smoothed by hand or left raw with charming imperfections, they lift your vegetables just high enough to breathe, to drain, to flourish. Look closely. Each row tells a story, a tale of kale standing bold and curly under the soft gaze of morning light, of ruby-red chard stretching skyward with passion, of lettuce heads tucked like green roses, layered in silent perfection. In another corner, tomato vines twist and dance within neat cement frames. Their fruits glow, reds and golds and greens, kissed by sun, held upright by the strength of a border made not from luxury, but from love and purpose. Cement edges like these help contain the soil, reduce bending strain, and give each plant its own room to thrive. Or picture a simple concrete grid, transformed into a painter's palette of greens. Basil bushes overflowing, carrots peeking from under rich black soil, beetroots with leaves like stained glass, glowing against the matte gray of the cement. This isn't just efficient gardening. It's art, practical, edible, and profoundly beautiful. And what's most comforting, this isn't reserved for grand gardens or expert hands. These raised cement edges can be shaped by anyone with a bit of mix, time, and care. Even old blocks, when aligned with purpose, become frames for life to grow. So if you've been holding off, thinking your yard is too small, too unworthy, maybe it's not the space that needs changing. Maybe it's how you choose to define its borders. Here, in these simple raised beds, lies a quiet revolution. One you can begin with just a mold, a bag of mix, and a little vision. Grow your own way, shape your own space, and let your garden rise, one recycled block at a time. Eight, cement and recycled wood combo edging. In a world where concrete is often overlooked, these modest garden borders tell a new story, one of beauty reclaimed, of materials reborn. Look closer. What you're seeing is more than just cement and wood. It's creativity carved from what others discard. Each weathered plank, each imperfect block, each fleck of paint or patina, all whisper of time, of use, of past lives. But here, in the garden's edge, they rise again with purpose. The zigzag patterns of aged timber hold a rhythm against soft-colored cement, almost like a heartbeat around blooming lavender. It's not just structural, it's sculptural. In the second idea, fence-like planks with peeling blues and whites stand proud, flanked by cheerful sunflowers and herbs that gently brush their edges. They look like they've stood watch over many seasons, and yet today, they smile in a brand new setting. And then there's that final frame, rich grain textures of reclaimed wood pressed beside strong blocks of cement, guarding pansies and dianthus like a warm embrace around spring's laughter. This isn't just garden edging. It's an act of storytelling. It's taking what's broken and giving it form, purpose, and beauty. Tip for you at home? Don't rush perfection. Let the mismatched wood speak. Let the slight roughness of handmade cement show. These flaws, they make it real. And the harmony of rough wood and cool concrete? Timeless. Because in the quiet of your tiny garden space, even with a single flower bed, you're allowed to build a world that feels like home. And remember, DIY isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Hands in motion. Heart in the moment. If this inspires you, don't wait. Try it. Build it. Shape something from what already lives in your shed or side yard. This border might just be the beginning of your most meaningful creation yet. Nine, cement stepping border path. There's something magical about walking through a space that feels thoughtfully made, every path a rhythm, every line a gentle guide. Cement stepping stones, often overlooked, have the power to transform a narrow garden trail into a poetic journey. In tiny yards or compact spaces, these paths do more than just lead. They frame, they define, they breathe structure into the chaos of leaves and roots. With a simple mix of recycled cement, molds, and a bit of intention, you can shape your own route, not just where feet will walk, but where the eye will pause. Some choose round stones etched with delicate leaf patterns, letting shadow and sunlight play upon each curve. Others opt for rough, irregular slabs speckled with river stones and sand, each step grounding, each one unique. And for the minimalist soul, a smooth, geometric line of grey pavers guiding you between a lush wall of beans and rows of tender carrots. It's clean, functional, and quietly artistic. The beauty lies not in perfection, but in harmony, where texture meets greenery and light meets form. If you're considering a project that brings both function and beauty into your small space, stepping stones can do more than you expect. Lay them by hand, shape them with love, and as your garden grows, let them become a part of the story. This idea isn't just practical, it's personal. A path not just to walk, but to feel. Cement bottle mold edging. Look closely, and you'll see that what edges these flower beds isn't just cement. It's memory, reshaped. These borders started life as bottles, plastic or glass, transformed with intention and a bit of quiet patience into soft, rounded forms that gently hold the earth in place. In one corner, cement domes line a bed of begonias. Each piece looks like it was plucked from a tiny classical wall, delicate but strong. If you run your hand over them, you'd feel the subtle ribs formed from everyday containers, giving rhythm and a handmade honesty to the frame. Elsewhere, the magic gets brighter. Clear and green glass shimmers at the base of herb beds, where oregano and basil reach into the morning light. These aren't ornaments from a store. They're pieces of bottles, set into cement like little gems. Sunlight dances off the surface, and you're reminded that waste can indeed become wonder. And then, there's the path, outlined in wave-like arches. Soft curves, perfectly imperfect. They cradle gravel like a whisper, guiding the eye through zinnias that bloom in vibrant red and sunshine yellow. The texture is raw, not overly polished. A reminder that this space was built with care, not perfection. Here's the truth. You don't need a grand yard or expensive materials to create something meaningful. What you need is presence. Hands willing to mold. Eyes willing to see beauty in what others discard. With each mold you pour, you're not just shaping cement. You're shaping a piece of your environment. You're writing your story into the garden. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes it bloom even brighter. Vintage cement tiles as edging. Sometimes, the soul of a garden isn't only in the flowers or the soil, but in the quiet lines that frame them, whispering stories from the past. In this first frame, we see a mosaic of muted elegance. A bed of crisp romaine and velvety kale stretches beneath the sun, cradled by tiles adorned with delicate filigree. These aren't just patterns, they're echoes of forgotten halls and sun-warmed courtyards. Reclaimed vintage cement tiles, each with their own aged character, come together like pages from a handmade journal. The intricate reliefs catch the golden light, while the earth beneath them breathes new life into every leaf that grows nearby. If you're thinking of replicating this look, start by salvaging mismatched tiles from local reclamation yards or old construction sites. No two need to match. That's the magic. The contrast in pattern is what creates the harmony. Now, let's move to a soft patio corner, where a line of antique-inspired tiles sings in hushed blues, forest greens, and sun-baked ochres. Here, ivy spills gently across the scene, and proud hydrangeas bloom in pastel hues, as if standing for a portrait. This isn't just decoration. It's a dialogue between past craftsmanship and present serenity. These tiles, worn by time and softened by use, bring an authenticity money cannot buy. Their imperfections are not flaws, but fingerprints of memory. And finally, we find ourselves along a lavender path, the air filled with fragrance, framed by terracotta-hued borders. The tiles here wear bold, folkloric prints, rust-red florals and oceanic spirals. They speak of old-world markets and Mediterranean breezes. Yet, in this small modern garden, they feel right at home. Practical and poetic, these cement pieces are laid like stories underfoot, grounding your plants in both beauty and function. Tip for those creating this at home: don't overthink the perfection. Lay your tiles slightly staggered. Let the soil kiss their edges. Mix worn with new. The more personal it feels, the more alive it becomes. In small spaces, every line matters. And these vintage-style tiles don't just edge your garden, they elevate it into an artwork. So maybe it starts with just one tile, one reclaimed piece of history. But from there, something timeless grows. Cement sculpted decorative edge, bird, leaf, flower shapes. Beneath the quiet rhythm of the seasons, there lies a joy in crafting with your hands, shaping cement not into mere stone, but into something poetic. In this garden, we discover the gentle art of turning recycled cement into delicate sculptural borders, each one carrying the memory of touch, time, and imagination. Let us begin where flowers bloom in stone. The first scene greets us with a whimsical parade of sculpted daisies and roses, resting like porcelain treasures along the garden bed. Soft pastels, creamy whites, tender pinks, and cement greens bloom eternally, embracing the herbs they protect. The craftsmanship here is heartfelt, each petal lovingly carved, each shape telling a story. These floral borders don't merely divide space. They invite joy, offering a sensory delight amidst the scent of thyme and creeping rosemary. If you're curious about how to begin, start with a basic flower mold or create your own using recycled silicone trays. Mix your cement to a smooth consistency, pour, and wait. Once cured, you can sand imperfections or even paint them using weatherproof acrylics. For smaller yards, lining just a few feet of garden with these pieces brings a remarkable lift and charm. Proof that beauty doesn't need grand scale. Now, come closer to the melody of sun and stone birds. In the second garden, sunlight dances gently on a series of perched cement birds, each one nestled atop minimalist blocks. Their texture is rough, honest, like they've been part of the landscape for years. There's something peaceful about them, silent guardians watching over vibrant cosmos and towering sunflowers. This edge is sculptural yet humble, rustic yet full of grace. It reminds us that garden art doesn't need to shout to be heard. If you're feeling adventurous, Try crafting bird figures using clay first as a base mold before casting in cement. Place them atop standard concrete bricks or reclaimed blocks. The contrast between soft form and solid structure creates visual rhythm, like poetry in stone. And with every crack and patina, they age with dignity. And then, the leaves. Sturdy, rhythmic, echoing nature's own design. Here, a small circular garden bed is embraced by overlapping leaf-shaped cement tiles. Each leaf is deeply etched, curving gently to follow the bloom of fiery hibiscus and candy-colored snapdragons. The arrangement mimics how nature layers foliage, effortlessly elegant. Warm light glows against the leaf veins, casting soft shadows as if the cement itself remembers the forest floor. These kinds of borders are surprisingly simple to DIY. Carve leaf patterns into soft foam or use real leaves pressed into wet cement to capture their veins. For a curved garden bed, make sure each piece is slightly tapered to follow the arc. This is a wonderful project for anyone new to sculpting, starting with form, ending with something deeply soothing to the eye. All of these edges, though made of cement, breathe life into a space. They blur the boundary between function and fantasy, offering structure while nurturing imagination. So whether your garden is vast or no larger than a window box, let it become a canvas. A story told in petals, feathers, and leaves, etched not just in stone, but in the quiet satisfaction of something handmade. In the end, this is more than edging. It's a love letter to slow beauty, to repurposing, to creating something lasting, where even cement blooms. If this video meant something to you, please know that subscribing means the world to me. You're not just supporting content, you're supporting a dream that keeps my family going. Thank you, truly. I'd also love to hear from you. What did you enjoy the most? Is there anything I could do better to keep inspiring or simply entertaining you? Your feedback helps this channel grow with heart and purpose. Let me know in the comments. I read every one.